I've had a few people tell me that I'm out here contradicting myself, like I'm out here telling people that you should concentrate on the things that you can control and not focus on all the things that you can't. You know, there's levels to this. There's levels to many things. You know, I'm all about changing the narrative. And when it comes to changing the narrative, there are levels towards changing that narrative. You always have to start at the lowest level. And in that lowest level, you have to understand the lowest level before you could go to the next level, right? I can't go in, start out at level 1 and then jump to level 6. People are going to look at me like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, what is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? I talk about changing the narrative within all things, especially our government. What people need to understand is that for you to change or update something big like the government, first you have to be unified in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, right? Right now, even at the lowest level, there's no unity within all American citizens. There's always a divide. And that tool that keeps us divided is racism. Racism is a tool that keeps that division. You know, strength is in numbers. You hear me say this all the time. Strength is in numbers. When you're unified, that's power. When you're divided, you fall easy. In this sense of changing the narrative, you have to understand what the narrative is first. You got to understand what is currently happening, right? If you don't understand fully what's happening, then when you go and try to do something like protest, you look like an idiot. People will tear you apart because you don't know the whole story. People will take that story of your so-called revolution and flip it against you because you're divided. The message is different. Understand what it is at the lowest level. You have to understand history. You have to understand your environment. You have to understand your tribes of people that you get involved with. You got to understand the quality of people that you surround yourself. And you have to understand the quality of people that is leading this country. You have to understand all those things first. And you have to understand that racism is not a lifestyle. It's a tool that is taught, that is instilled to keep that division. You have to understand where you come from and where you want to go. And until you do that, there's always going to be consistent conflict because no one is united. So towards changing the narrative, we have to start at the lowest level. We have to unite each other. We have to be on a common accord. We have to understand what is happening. We got to understand what's happening to us. And if you don't have that understanding and you go off and you do something revolutionary, that could be turned around on you in an instant. Instead of starting something new or starting a revolution or starting some sort of conflict that's supposed to bring about change, you go from that straight into damage control because you're dealing with organized people. And you're dealing with organized people that know how to make you look stupid. So, in regards to understanding what it is you can control that at the lowest level. We all can control that. We all can educate ourselves. We have the ability to do that. We all have the ability to come together. We all have that ability. That's something that we can control. We can control how we treat each other. We can control how we unite within each other. We can control that division and dissolve any sort of segregation that's out there. We have control of that. At the lowest level, we do. But are we doing it? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Are we doing it? And do we want it? Are we doing it? And do we want it? Catalytic material.